Assalamu alaikum. So today I'd like to talk about the national emergency crisis in Bangladesh. You know that Bangladesh is right now facing lots of economic problem and social problem, as well as the problem which has been arising by the war between the Israel and Iran. And before the strategy, you know that in the year 2026, 12 February, actually our national election happened, and in that election, BNP government, they fall out the institutional pride and they make a government. But I don't know what will be the future of the government. But as far as I'm concerned, this is a global issue. You know that during the Arab-Israel war, I mean that during the Iran versus America war, there are lots of embargo, sanction procedure on the Hormuz Strait, and as well as on the Hormuz Strait, Iran has already banned the Shatil Arab or Bab el Mandeb. So this is actually the biggest fallacy of our economic dimension and economic policy, and our government, they should take effective procedure to overcome from this problem. And as a part of this, Vietnam already stopped their regular activities for 4 days. They will work for 4 days, and the other 3 days of a week they will work from home. So this is a very good strategy to resolve the problem with a very short time, to resolve the economic crisis, to resolve the pandemic crisis. And you have seen in the pandemic situation, during the pandemic situation, lots of the schools, colleges, universities, they were worked from home. So it's a very good strategy to resolve the economic crisis, but it has no sustainability procedure that I have already known. So while I'm talking about the national emergency crisis, so I have to also talk about the what should I do. I mean that what should we do in the time of national emergency. So as a thinker, I can suggest to the government can go through the online procedure. So if it is possible, the government can declare the online class for the all of the students, and that will be so much effective. But there are lots of problems also. The first problem is that we have economic crisis. Our economy is not so good, so lots of the students have no types of mobile phone data, even relevant places for enjoying in the online classes. So it is actually a big burden for themselves. The second scenario is that the infrastructure problem. We have lacking in skilled teachers, skillful authority. So in that perspective, it can be a burden, future burden for all of us. The third reason is that the students, after the pandemic situation, they are starting a very good move towards a very good future, good policy, and good development also. But during this act of God, this is not only the act of God, this is the activities which has been originated by the human being. So this is the man-made war. So by the man-made war, people have been facilitated lots of problems in their common lifestyle. So to overcome from this problem, definitely we need to make supervise our national strategy that will be so much convenient and effective for the future Bangladesh. So on hand, I'm talking about the emergency procedure. What should I do in the time of emergency? On the other hand, I have to talk about the state's activity. So state is actually a very big source to resolve the emergency situation. So as a citizen, I'm thinking about that, but states has a very big plan to resolve the problem with a very short time. You know that Philippines, Malaysia, they have already articulated lots of solution to resolve this problem, to overcome from this institutional problem, man-made problem. And I believe that Bangladesh government, they will take effective measurement, and they will create a very good way for the future Bangladesh. Otherwise, we will face lots of economic burden, and this economic burden will create the absolute famine procedure in the world structure. So According to the international law, it is actually prohibited to deal with this matter of the international law, but the rich countries, they are not following the rules, regulations, even the procedure of international law. So after observing everything, I would like to request the United Nations to resolve the problem with a very big hand. Otherwise this will create a absolute precedent to use the Jude ad Bellum in the future time. You know that Jude ad Bellum is the concept of international law. Jude ad Bellum means to intention to engage the war forcefully without any kind of justification. And in international law, it is actually famous and rhetoric doctrine to engage in war, to engage in destruction, to engage in attacking on the another country. So I think that United Nations, they have to work collectively with the fascination of international law after observing the practical scenario of international law. And as a part of this, with the Asian countries, we can survive a very good life, we can survive a hassle free life, even we can survive a very strong economic lifestyle.